Hi, my name is Çağrı Öner. I'm a graphic designer and photographer and web and software developer. I've been working for the EU-funded projects for some time now. This is my 15th project. I've always been the graphic designer, and plus in some of those projects I've been the photographer and the software developer. And in 6 of those projects, EU-funded projects, I had developed the visual identity, including the logo and other materials that brings up the visual identity of those projects. So, since we are coming at this stage with so many delays and etc., I'll be very brief about the identity part, trying to answer your questions, your previous questions about this program's identity and how to implement them. So I'll start with what is identity, or what is visual identity, or organizational identity, corporate identity. Actually, these are all the terms that can be used interchangeably. If you are a corporate, a company, a firm, you use the term corporate identity. If it's just a civil society organization, it can be an organizational identity. But in essence, it's visual identity we are talking about. And but it is not. Visual identity doesn't compose the whole identity, because identity is a much broader term. When we talk about identity, it includes your tone of voice, it includes the way you communicate with your target group, the way you behave in essence, and it can also include uniforms if your organization prefers to use uniforms. So identity includes all of them, not just the logo, not just the colors, not just the fonts. Of course, includes those things, but it's a more general thing. It's a more general umbrella. Brand, on the other hand, is a bigger umbrella, let's say. You create the identity, you create the tools that forms the identity. The most prominent one is the logo, of course, but it is, as I said, the colors, the fonts, the printed materials, the broadcasted materials, everything. You build your identity, but you cannot build your brand. Brand is built by your target group, because it is shaped by how they perceive your identity, right? So this is just a very brief clarification between those terminology, because if we talk about it, if we want to talk about it, we can have a complete day session for that. We don't have that much time, but just to clarify, what are these different things? When we talk about this program's identity, on the other hand, it's not just how you implement the logo of this program in your own projects. It's not incorporating your own project's identities into this one, but it is a more general one, because in the long term there will be more projects like yours in this program, and they will all have their own identities, their own values, etc., etc., but they will be also included in this program. So think about this bigger picture in terms of when we say the program's identity, it's a bit bigger picture. But you are lucky at the same time, because you are the first grant beneficiaries of this program. So and we just started building or working on building the identity of this program. So with your inputs, we are going to shape it. So this is the lucky part of your presence here, because in the future, if it goes well, and for a few years' time, if it is a very well-known program, as we believe so, you'll always say that we were there in the first meetings, and we had our inputs, and this logo, this whole identity is shaped with some of the inputs or most of the inputs of our ideas. For that purpose, in your folders, we have some questionnaires. They should be both in Turkish and in English, whichever suits you best. In a minute's time, we will go through it, and if possible, we will have some explanations on each question, and we will like you to fill in those forms right now. Before that, we are going to have another training which is dedicated for this one, but as for the moment, since the Intercultural Dialogue program's identity isn't finished yet, there are still some rules that you should follow. Presentation. So this is a very brief example of the hierarchy of the logos. Not every institution, organization brought their whole identity to the program, to any of those kind of programs which are funded by the EU. But they put their brands, they put their logos. For example, Turkey is a co-financer, Republic of Turkey is co-financer, so is the European delegation, European Union. So their presence is presented by this wavy flag, Turkish EU wavy flag, with the explanatory text, which is also standard. You cannot even put anything else over that, even a comma or full stop. So this is the main part of the whole project hierarchy of logos and identities. It should be always on top, on the center, and it should be twice as big as the other logos used in that logo. There is CFCU, contractual institution, and it should be always there. You cannot change the position, you cannot put it up or in the center or on the other side of any of the documents that you should use. And Yunus Emre's logo is also fixed. It is there. On the left or right, and civil society sectors logo. This is the umbrella thing. It should be always in the center and at the bottom in between those logos. You are going to find a place for your own organization's logo and your co-beneficiaries logo, etc. And also, if there is a specific project logo of yours, then it should be also going in that. However, we will try our best while structuring this Intercultural Dialogue's identity. We will try our best to accommodate all those logos in a meaningful way. When I say meaningful, it doesn't mean that it should be, it doesn't only mean that they should all be visible, but also they shouldn't be interfering with the main design, the main message. Sometimes people forget about the main message and main design, and they focus on the visibility of all the logos, but nobody will come to see your event when they see Civil Society Sector's logo, for example. They should be coming and attending to your event because they see something in the main design. This is the overall hierarchy. Now, if you all found the questionnaire, we can go through it and
just a couple of questions, 2 pages. Available in your folders both in English and Turkish, whichever you prefer. We would kindly ask you to put your name and institution's name on it. And let's start. So, what is this questionnaire will help us? get your vision about intercultural dialogue so that these are reflected in the identity that we are going to create. So, first question, let me start with the first question and you take on maybe. Kültürler arası diyaloğu 5 kelimeyle ifade etseniz bunlar ne olurdu? Ne olurdu? Give 5 words that you think explains cultural dialogue. You can write it in your surveys. 5 words. You can write it, yes. Siz de doldurursanız ben senin. Yunus Emre Enstitüsü arkadaşlarımız, sizler de dolduruyorsunuz.
Kültür ve diyaloğu kullanmıyoruz değil mi?
İstediğinizde. For you, whatever it means
Aklınıza ne
to you.
geliyorsa, ne ifade eder diye düşünüyorsunuz.
Intercultural dialogue. Türkçe, İngilizce, Fransızca için biraz zorlanabiliriz ama yardımcı olabilirler. Bizim sorumuz. Ben şu an bulamıyorum, eve götürüp yapacağım diyen varsa ona da hayır demeyiz. Okay. Geçelim mi ikinci soruya?
Yeşim Hanım, cevapları tartışacağız. Siz kendi aranızda yoksa tamamen kağıt.
Aslında biz öyle isterdik ama şu an biraz zaman kısıtı nedeniyle.
Ben 5. sorunun cevabını çok merak ediyorum. Neye yazılacak?
Tamam onu oraya gelince şey yapalım. Okay. So our second question is for the ones who have finished. If you were asked to describe intercultural dialogue with a slogan, what would you say? Connecting people, already taken by Nokia. Connecting people. Connecting already taken by. Richard Waters. Imagine all the people. Imagine all the people. Beşinci soruya verdiğiniz cevaplar açılışa gelecek, evet doğru.
Bol yapmasını rica edeyim.
So for the third question, think about intercultural dialogue as an image, right? So when you think it as an image, it can be a photograph, a scenery, etc., whatever you think. Which of those controversial choices are best described? Is it going to be single color or colorful? Just check the one that you like. Is it going to be conservative or extravagant? Approachable, authoritative. Is it a necessity or luxury image in your view? Do you enjoy that view, or do you think that it's a very serious thing and you should be, seeing it as a respectful one? Is it professional, casual, etc., etc.? Please pick one of them in each option.
Can we offer?
Sure.
Yes.
Another one.
Yes, another.
Okay, sure.
So for the fourth question, think about a friend of yours who is not very familiar with these kind of concepts, who is not into this sector. How would you describe it to him or her?
Okay, fifth question, the important one. Which actor or actress would be perfect to play an intercultural dialogue? Angelina Jolie. Yes. Who else? You can share it. Yüksek sesle de söyleyebilirsiniz, merak ettik. Diyenler var.
Ne söylenir acaba?
Nusret.
Geldi mi aklınıza birileri? Okay. The next question is, what kind of a car would intercultural dialogue be? Fast, slow, modern, old?
Ben marka yazdım.
Marka yazın, marka.
Mini.
Volkswagen.
Hippie, the hippie version.
And why?
Because it's still utopic, no?
Okay. What animal would represent intercultural dialogue? Cat. Fish.
Catfish.
Catfish.
So for this intercultural dialogue program's identity, do you think that we should be, all of us, be more focusing on the dialogue part or the culture part? Or both?
Which part? Intercultural? Dialogue? Culture? Intercultural? So next question is about target audience. Think about intercultural dialogue. Who do you think it most will be impactful, will have an interaction with? And try to tell us the age group. Children, young people, young people like the young people like Vedat Bey. So, who? Age group, geography, Turkey, Europe. Which of them more important? And profession, is it just artists, journalists, academia? Who else do you think intercultural dialogues would be important for? To know about, to interact with? You can put more than one if you like. And for the 10th question, I think we will be paid advertisement fee by the companies you choose.
Existing logo,
Yeah, existing logo.
yeah. Apart from the logos that you see here in this room, any logo that comes to your mind first, that impressed you in some way, in a good way or a bad way, doesn't matter.
That represents you, maybe, your personality. Olmaz mı bunda da olunca? Hayır, biz şeyi de bekliyoruz. AB Türkiye, biz diyebiliriz. Okay. So, I think we are finished now. Thank you very much. We hope to. Who did you pick for the actors? Just read from your.
Haluk Bilginer.
Haluk
I'm
Bilginer.
not the fan of him, but his sound and, he's a well-known personality, he's good in several languages. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You took Jude Law, I think.
No, I put Jim Carrey actually.
Wow. Great.
With Jaja.
What about cars? What did you put for cars?
Yeah, me too.
Bicycle. Great. Sustainability. Jeep. What? So the project will be so tiring that we need more.
It can go everywhere.
Okay, so we'll be collecting your valuable feedback for our process of developing the identity for the project.
Baba'nın filmi bu kadar meşhur olmuşken ben Barış Manço'yu bir aktör canlandırsın isterdim ama acaba sadece 70'lerin kuşağı mı hatırlıyor? Barış Manço'nun ne kadar böyle kültürler arası diyaloğa hizmet ettiğini yani ondan somutlaştığını.
Tabii bisiklet diye ne oldu?
Otomobil olsa demişti de taşıt diye düşünelim.
Ne diyecektiniz Duygu Hanım?
Yani taşıt olursa daha böyle skalalı
Tren. Hızlı ulaşım.
Evet ama çevreci değil.
Çevreci değil dediler.
Maalesef.
Tren en iyisi. Ama biz de bindin mi gidemiyoruz. Efendim şimdi bir kimlik çalışması ile ilgili çalışmamız bittiğinde aslında size eğitime geldiğinizde bir kimlik kılavuzu da vereceğiz. Let me switch to English sometimes. Değil mi? During our trainings, grant implementation training, we will have a session on communication and planning communication in details, but By then we'll be interacting with you a lot, so I hope we will be progressed by then. But during the trainings, a more detailed training on how to do media relations, how to do digital media, how to implement the identity on your products. All these details will be cleared by then. I know that it's a little bit shocking now to hear a lot of things, but it's your first day. Please try to be, how should I put it, kind to yourselves. It's okay to be, confused now, because it's just the start now. But one thing maybe we should keep underlining is that the technical assistance team is here to help you get out of these, not to do things on behalf of you, because you are already you are the owners of your project. You designed it, you will be implementing it. We are here to back you up with expertise that you would need, guidance that you will need, but not to own or not to do it on your behalf actually. So if there's a confusion like that in your minds, we are just trying to help you here. The other thing is that by the training time, we will be giving you a detailed communication and visibility guideline, which will tell to your designers, the communication people, whoever will be doing any communication activity for you, to look at and see where I will put the logos, even if possible with some templates that we can use. But this is not things that we want you to use only. You are free to, with your designs, creativity and everything. We are just trying to put you in the framework of the EU visibility rule and help us to carry intercultural dialogue to next generation grantees. Most probably you will be in the second one, third one, hopefully. So you will be the first pioneers who helped, as Charles said, design this. And by experience, maybe we will be changing, adding everything in time. But as I said, you will have a clear guidance on to help you with your design implementation of your visibility things and to get approval of an eligible cost for your expenditure for visibility as well. So by the training time, we will be handling those to you. Now the final session that we have to do is the opening event. We are planning an opening event, the big opening event of the we have no concept yet in our minds. The concept in our minds is that you should be part of the opening, maybe with some activities, because we can show the flavor of your projects in the opening to public. For instance, maybe a small literature read, maybe some of one or couple of small movies that you produced, maybe a research finding you did in British Council, or a cultural hub thing. Maybe an artist who already completed a residency under your project. That's why we gave us a little bit time for you and us to get prepared for the opening, to show the flavor of your project. So we will be asking you kindly think what you can contribute as a content for the opening event. We'll be exchanging emails about the most suitable date very soon, so we will be collectively deciding that as well. But of course, we have lots of institutions as stakeholders, in this project. We have to take into consideration a lot of parameters when we decide the big launch event. But if there are dates in April that we should avoid, please let us know. Like if you already decided 8th of April for your own launch event, please let us know. If you decided to go, your team will be out for something, please let us know. One question is that if we ask you to bring in some contribution to the opening event as an artistic contribution, would this time be enough for you to organize that? Let's say we do it in mid-April. Do you have time to get organized, to contribute to the opening event? You don't have to, of course, but we believe that it will be great.
Not all projects would have maybe artistic output. Would a keynote speaker or something be also
Yeah.
considered as a contribution?
Anything that will bring the flavor of your project onto the launch. And this is, of course, as I said, a proposition. You don't have to. If you want to, we don't want to miss one project out. We want to show that there is 4 dynamic, lovely, intense projects going to be implemented all around Turkey and Europe. And we want to show public that all of them to be part of the intercultural dialogue. This is going to be our message for the large event. That's why the more you are in it, the better we can convey this message to everyone.
What is the target audience of the launch event? Like where it will be and how many people will come?
It will be in Ankara, I think. It's written as Ankara.
It might also be in Istanbul. We haven't decided that. I see that most of the participants are from Istanbul, so it seems only the KT and Yunus Emre is from Ankara. So we can organize something in Istanbul, but there is also the training part of the event. So I think that should take place in Ankara.
In the terms of reference, it says Ankara, but I suppose it's possible to change it if necessary. It would be convenient for us, of course, to organize it in Ankara. And if diplomatic community is one of the important target groups, they are mostly in Ankara, while there are consulates. We have to think about the target group also.
We are working on the concept note, concept of the launch event. So target group, we haven't identified. Basically, we'll be sharing it with you. But of course, whoever don't forget that you have your own launch events to launch it to your own targeted audience. This is the launch of the Intercultural Dialogue. So it will be more maybe bureaucracy that's maybe other relevant institutions like Ministry of Culture or other, I mean, off the top of my mind, I can think of these. Who else, Simon?
Yeah, I was going to say, also for your planning purposes, you should be thinking that the idea is that we would have the launch and the training over 3 days. And we would like to invite you and all your partners as well, so from Serbia, from Greece, from Bulgaria, where your partner organizations are. We would like everyone to come together because it's not only the opportunity to publicly launch the EU-Turkey Intercultural Dialogue, it's also a great networking opportunity. So the audience, there will be people invited to the launch itself, which you've already mentioned, that kind of target group. I think within that target group, we would also say we try to bring in other cultural institutions who are not already represented here, and particularly from the international community. Maybe there are other unique members who would be coming to that launch. And then, so the launch would be a big event, and then after that there would be a smaller activity, which would be the training for you and your teams, as it were. So you need to kind of plan. It's going to take 3 days of your lives.
Launch event is just half a day, maybe?
Yeah.
Or an evening event, as I said, with your contributions we will plan it. A concert maybe, something follows with that. So, yeah. Press, of course, we will be inviting lots of press. These are the target groups. And please let us know if you think that this should be at the launch event. You shouldn't miss that. Let us know as well. We will consider those. But this is all at the moment from my side. As I put my email there, please put me in contact with your communication people especially for your urgent activities, so that we can do visibility support and other support to them. Any questions?
We will be looking for sponsorship for this 10%. Of course, we have many questions for the financial parts, but my question will be on the visibility of them. So how are we going to propose these sponsorships on the web page or in the document? We have no idea. If you can help us on this issue, we will be able to put it in our files, go to them. I don't know.
Anybody else will be looking for sponsors, financial sponsors?
We also have another foundation in Hungary which we want to work together and they need to have financial support. But also we have
For specific events or throughout the project? Yours is for the 10% share?
ours is for it depends on your later answer, like how should we do it. And also partly just connecting to this is that as I already mentioned, we are going to go on with ongoing projects like, for example, I don't know, association of young graduates in Hungary. So so they also have their visuals or maybe a program supported already by another European Union funding, which I understand that it is possible to do. But then we have to use those logos as well, so that is contradictional.
Okay.
So this has to be.
So maybe anything printed will be 100 pages. We will discuss while developing the identity, we will take all these issues into consideration, discuss it with our colleagues in CICU, how we can formulate that, or whether we can formulate that. No, we cannot formulate quick answer.
Formulate that. We need to propose something also to our sponsors.
Visually not, I think.
Usually not.
Can we put some
Spiritually, you mean?
I mean, visual represent.
I know for a fact that in a previous program, commercial companies' logos were not permitted on any of these. But on one occasion, I recall they opened a separate stand. During the event, this particular organization opened a separate stand. Okay. So, but these are, these have to be clarified with the CFCU, and if the sponsor is a commercial company, I don't think it would be approved, but there are ways to cover the co-finance. There are many other ways. I mean, I know for a fact that you're working in your organizations, and you will also manage this project. This is one of the easiest ways to co-finance the project. Anyway, the details can be discussed.
Maybe I can
Yeah, Saygın Bey.
give some explanations about the issue. I am giving my answers principally according to contract rules. Logos of symbols of other institutions and the flag. No institution can put its name, its logo on any document that printed from our budget, from the contractor. So they can sponsor, they can give money, they can share, take some responsibility, financial responsibility about some activity, but it shouldn't be amount from contract budget, and their contribution should not be publicized in your documents. I would say that. About co-financing issue, 10%, 15%, how much you have, I don't remember, but actually we are not looking from the source where you fund the money. You can put from your own institution's fundings, you can borrow it from somewhere else. As long as you put the money to account and as long as you spend it for the project, and if the amount is correct with the final calculations, it's okay for us. So you can find from other sources, you can use donations or etc. sponsors. further sponsorships or things like that. If you still have any questions and if you are still looking for some solutions, you can ask direct questions to CSU and we can evaluate your case. But in principle, it is not possible, unfortunately, but we will check.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or communications? Okay. So thank you very much. Next.
We have talked about the monitoring information system. It will be kind of a management information system, and it's being developed right now. And Erkan Bey, Erkan İnan, will briefly give you information on what it is, how it will work.
Thank you. I have a very brief presentation for the management information system. It's going to be brief. I mean it. The monitoring information system is basically a tool to manage project knowledge and a very limited scope. We are aiming at to create a tool that will make some daily operations easier for the project management center, especially. It will require some kind of cooperation from your side, but the scope of the cooperation will be declared later, depending on the exact function of the management information system. We will be requesting from your side to supply us some information in a pre-formatted manner. And we will also inform you about when and how to provide the information. It's going to be a web-based application software, and it's going to be strictly access control. So your data will be private to you, but at the center we'll be able to see all the data. We'll be able to consolidate any kind of figures and things like this. I have 6 or 7 slides for the MAS functions. It will capture the logical framework and the activities which you have already provided throughout the application process. But they informed that we will go through the existing data, and if necessary, some corrections will be made, and the new version of the logical framework and its components will be fed into the management information system. I think we will be in close cooperation during that process. Another function of the monitoring information system will be about representing the network of people in the database. So in that sense, contact data for people and institutions will be in the database so that we can use it for various purposes. So we can also provide this data on your demand for your purposes. Depends on type of the requests we will be presenting to the project management. We will also be storing the personal files such as contracts, personal contracts and CVs in this system. One crucial element in the monitoring information system is the communication tool. We have some habits, all we are familiar to emails, but email is not a good tool or method to communicate the declarations and the notifications. We will create a central database for these messaging purposes, where the project management team will be placed at the center. Declarations and notifications will be communicated through the monitoring information system. With all the appendices, critical forms and things like this. And some other communication records may also be created throughout monitoring information system. Working times, timesheets and claims is a kind of aid that you will receive throughout the monitoring information system, because the human resources are one of the basic inputs. So it will be very easy to keep the record of the working times. It will be very easy to follow the approval process. And most importantly, standard and hassle-free generation of the timesheets will be possible. As mentioned earlier, by my colleague. Activities will also be captured, and it will be very beneficial for all of us to have the central repository of the activities, a database, which can be used for communication and coordination purposes. There is an extensive data model behind the system to represent virtually all kind of activities in the system. And it will be possible to place it on the calendar, people to register the participants, related people, with additional documentation and the promotion material. So it will be good if we can make good utilization of this component in the monitoring information system. Although we are not sure about inclusion of this function, the web content generation, because just heard that each of the projects around the table planning to create its own website. But on the other side, on the other hand, we will have a project set for the program. And for the sake of making it easy to publish the essence of the activities or some other project information on the program website, the monitoring information system may provide you with some data entry screens, some content entry pages. After very concise approval steps, it may take its place on the program website automatically. So this is going to be a tool useful for publishing announcement, news, and things like this. We'll see. And finally, there will be a general document area where you will be able to find column templates, menus, and things like this. So it will come handy when you read this kind of material. So this is all the coverage of the functions. What kind of users we will have in the system? Grant beneficiary people, most importantly. Power users, and the other experts. So everybody will play the predefined role on the system. Power users will be able to manage project data in coordination with the project management. In that sense, timesheets, declarations, notifications, communication records, and things like that will be managed by the power users. And the other experts will supply working times and timesheets as defined. Project management team will make use of the system heavily. They are the central users to manage the full project knowledge in maze, and some system administration roles will also be played by these people. One example is management of the system users. The UD and CFCU will have a supervisor stance on the system, so they will access to the project knowledge instantly. They will not be able to modify it, but they will see. That's all I said. Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Quick question actually. For timesheets, shall we wait for the system to start or?
No, there is one important thing. I missed. Thank you very much. That reminded a good point. I missed. We have a magic word for such things is backlogging, because system is not ready at the moment. So we will back everything, and we will catch up with it.
So you should go on with your timesheets and normal procedures using Excel and whatever you're using.
Okay, I think we're getting towards the end of the day. Maybe you've got a lot of information and probably getting a bit of an overload. But I want you to wrap up on a few points. And one of them was on the MIS. That of course the training that we keep talking about that you will come to. This is where there will be you'll get supported to use the MIS. So. Hopefully prior to that it will be launched and you'll get your login information. But when you come for the training, we'll have a dedicated session to help you with the MIS. But it will be extremely easy and simple to use. and we know from past experience it really helps on a day-to-day basis your project management. So it's a really good tool to have. I also wanted to finish up by saying that I hope that from the whole of today you understood that we're trying to ask you to cooperate on something bigger than just your individual projects. They're very important to you, of course, and you made the application, you've been awarded the funding to implement your projects, and we're here to support you to implement your projects. But we also really hope that you'll buy into the bigger picture, and that with the Yunus Emre Institute we'll support the vision of developing this EU-Turkey intercultural dialogue so that it can grow and grow over the coming years. I don't know whether you expected that when you came today, that we would be discussing these kinds of issues. You probably never expected that you'd be asked to say which animal that you considered represented intercultural dialogue. But after today, hopefully you'll go away and you'll see that yes, we all want to contribute to this bigger picture, as it were. And the next time we all meet up together will be this launch of the Intercultural Dialogue program that we've been talking about, and the training. But before then, you've also heard from Vedat that we will be arranging with you the first round of monitoring visits, and Vedat and the members from the Yunus Emre project team will be visiting you and spending a day basically with you. Of course, we will discuss the dates with you, find the right time convenient, but that will be the day when you really can, on an individual basis, get all of Vedat's advice and experience on these issues that you have on the co-financing issues and all the other things that you've mentioned during today. Lastly, just to reconfirm that after today we will send you a clear contact information about all of the team, what we do, how to find us, how to reach us. And with your permission, we'll also share collectively all the contact details of everyone that is here. And please, we're really here to support you as much as possible, so never be afraid to ask something to us, even if you think it maybe is silly or something. But,
There is no stupid question.
There's no stupid question. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm sure that maybe Bülent would like to focus on technical side. We've finished the day, so thank you all very, very much.
Maybe I can say something before that day. As a summary, I want to remind you some issues about your projects and today's meeting. First of all, now you have the grant implementation manuals, procurement manuals. Please read them carefully because they are very relevant with your activities, with your expenditures. And we made reference to grant kickoff opening trainings today, a lot of reference we made, but don't wait the training to start your activities. Your time is already started. And if you wait to approve and then decide to organize yourself, you will lose 3 or 4 months to start your activities, but we have only 18 months. And highly probably that you will not have any additional time for complete your activities. There will be no extension. So without waiting the training, start your activities, start your preparations, and for every question, Yeşilhanım, Vedat Bey, CSU, Yunus Emre is here. Please don't hesitate to ask anything, any very specific things you can ask about social security, about filing, about bank transfers, about VAT forms, everything you can ask to Vedat Bey. And we are here, we can help you. Don't lose your time until the training. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
And I also have a few sentence. We as the director for EU Affairs, as our general director mentioned in the morning, have lots of other grant projects. as well as technical assistance project with other public institutions. So under the civil society sector, we want all our beneficiaries to have a close connection among each other. The grant project, we want that the grant beneficiaries know each other's projects, and if there is some possibilities for cooperation, we want them to think about this kind of cooperation and connect sustainable dialogue among themselves to further improve their project activities, etc. As Bülent Bey in the morning said, we will announce our new civil society dialogue project soon, the grant beneficiary soon. We will have many other civil society dialogue projects. We also have an archaeology and cultural institute project held by the Ministry of Culture, and it started a few weeks ago. So we believe that there are lots of activities among our project that cooperate on and that improve your activities. So we will try to inform you about relevant projects that may have repercussion on your project, and we want you to interested in them, and we want you to contact with these projects, teams, etc. And I hope it will be a good opportunity for you to establish sustainable relations with a big team under the civil society sector. Thank you for your participation today.
Okay, I would like to thank everybody once again. It was very nice having you all here, all the members of the projects, CFCU, not ministry, directorates, and also our teams. I think it was a good example of what we can call dialogue. Today was a good day for dialogue, I think, and we have seen that we can create many opportunities to further to foster that dialogue, and I'm sure all of the projects under these grants will achieve, will serve to that purpose. I wish everybody success, and I'm looking forward to see you in the opening event, and before that, if I can manage my time, seeing you in your project offices. If you happen to come to Ankara, please visit our offices here in this building, and also in our historical building in Ulus. And we will also have another building in Kızılay, where we can have some other activities. Thank you.